Hallmark Christmas movies seem to make the holiday season start earlier every year. You can spot the comforting tropes of these movies from a mile away, but when you watch them as a grown-up, you might notice some other things too. Clearly, Hallmark decided to cash in on society's collective obsession with royals by adding a healthy dose of royal romance to another universally beloved occasion, the holidays. Mix those two ingredients together and you get a steady stream of Hallmark Christmas movies with a fairy tale twist. In A Princess for Christmas, Jules is unexpectedly invited to spend Christmas in the fictional country of Castleberry, and she soon finds herself falling in love with the handsome Prince Ashton. Crown for Christmas is similar to A Princess for Christmas in both title and plot. The made-for-TV movie follows the recently unemployed Allie who accepts a position in yet another fictional country as a governess to a young princess. Of course, by the end of the movie, Allie is in love with the king. If holiday-themed royal romance flicks are your cup of Earl Grey tea, you'll definitely want to check out titles like A Royal Christmas, Once Upon a Holiday, and A Royal Winter. Sure, their plots are a bit far-fetched, but these Hallmark Christmas movies offer a much-needed escape from the holiday season's hustle and bustle. If there's one thing Hallmark loves more than a royal romance, it's a small-town romance. Of course, there are exceptions, but if a Hallmark Christmas movie begins in a bustling metropolis, you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that the main character is going to find themselves learning the true reason for the season in a cute, cozy, tiny town fit for a snow globe. In Moonlight and Mistletoe, Holly, a successful Boston-based businesswoman, spends the holidays in her hometown of Chester, Vermont to help her ailing father tend to his year-round Christmas-themed amusement park, Santaville. Christmas in Evergreen also takes place in Vermont, this time, as the title implies, in the fictional tiny town of Evergreen. And Christmas in Homestead follows a famous actress as she travels to the small, Christmas-obsessed town of Homestead, Iowa to shoot a holiday movie, and discovers the true meaning of Christmas while she's there, of course. With their heartfelt cards, commercials, and movies, Hallmark has a history of making people cry. Throughout their many years in the business, the company has somehow perfected the science of pulling at all the right heartstrings. Of course, Hallmark's Christmas movies are no different. While marathoning Hallmark Christmas movies as an adult, it's impossible to overlook the sheer number of plots centered around a grieving widow or widower. In Christmas Getaway, a travel writer plans a Christmas vacation, only to find herself double-booked with a widower and his young daughter. And as you can probably guess, the writer and the widower happen to fall head over heels in love. The Christmas Shepherd follows the story of a widow and widower who happen to find one another and fall in love, all thanks to a runaway dog. And in The Christmas Ornament, a charming Christmas tree shop owner single-handedly restores the joy of the holiday season for a widow still grieving the loss of her husband. Holiday romance isn't a cure-all for grief, but you should add these flicks to your must-watch list the next time you need a cathartic Christmas cry. While no two Hallmark Christmas movies are exactly alike, most of the cozy holiday flicks essentially tell the same story. A down-on-their-luck or otherwise apathetic protagonist learns the true meaning of the holiday season thanks to a little help from a surprising person they fall in love with. Romance is a Hallmark Christmas movie staple, and while most people love a heartwarming tale of finding love and getting in touch with the holiday spirit, it's impossible to ignore Hallmark's historic lack of leading LGBTQ characters. In 2017, a reporter for Times Standard reached out to Crown Media, which owns the Hallmark Channel, to ask why they've seemingly made the decision to exclude the LGBTQ community from their beloved Christmas movies. In response, Crown Media's vice president said, "We are not an issues-oriented network. Our goal is for every viewer who comes to us to feel happier and better because they watched. We have hired many LGBTQ actors. Hopefully, Hallmark will join the rest of society in the 21st century and give their audience an LGBTQ holiday love story sooner rather than later." Let's face it, in reality, the holiday season isn't the happiest time of year for everyone. But Hallmark Christmas movies would have you believe that attitude is a criminal offense. So many of the network's holiday films feature a protagonist who feels, at best, apathetic about Christmas, only to have their outlook completely changed by the end of the movie. For example, in Every Christmas Has a Story, a television personality finds herself in hot water when she admits she hates Christmas on air. She's subsequently invited to, in Hallmark's words, the most Christmassy town in the US to try to repair her image. Only in the Hallmark universe would admitting you don't love Christmas land you a PR nightmare.
I hate the holidays. I hate Christmas.
It's no secret that Hollywood has long been critiqued for its ageism, especially in regard to casting. In a 2017 interview, Jessica Lange told AARP, "Ageism is perverse in this industry. You don't often see women in their 60s playing romantic leads, yet you will see men in their 60s playing romantic leads with co-stars who are decades younger." Perhaps this is part of the reason Hallmark movies are so refreshing for those viewers who have aged out of their late teens and early 20s, as the network routinely casts actresses in leading roles who are over 30 years old. Lacey Chabert, who according to Entertainment Weekly signed on for her 8th Hallmark Christmas movie in 2019, celebrated her 37th birthday in September 2019. Another Hallmark Christmas movie darling, Ashley Williams, turned 40 in November 2018. And Candace Cameron Bure turned 43 years old in 2019. Considering Bure is one of Hallmark's most successful stars, maybe Hollywood should be taking a few notes from the network. It undoubtedly takes a village to produce the amount of entertaining Christmas content Hallmark airs every holiday season, but it also seems like there must be a dedicated team of true dorks out there in charge of coming up with the often cringe-worthy titles for Hallmark's holiday fare. Some of the Christmas-themed puns used for Hallmark's holiday movie titles read as if they were taken straight from a book of classic dad jokes. There seem to be endless punny names for their holiday flicks, but some highlights include Christmas Under Wraps, Fur Crazy, Christmas with Holly, and, of course, It's Christmas Carol. Considering Hallmark announced a lineup of 40 new holiday movies for its 2019 season, it's safe to say coming up with clever Christmassy titles has become significantly more difficult. That being said, the network's 2019 Christmas movie roster included titles like Right Before Christmas, Picture a Perfect Christmas, and Check In to Christmas, which goes to show Hallmark hasn't lost its magic punny touch. In 2017, Saturday Night Live poked a bit of fun at Hallmark's many Christmas movie tropes in a cut-for-time sketch, Hallmark Channel Christmas Promo. The pretty spot-on parody totally nails one of Hallmark's most overused tropes, the struggling small business. Just as Kate McKinnon's character leaves her big city job to take over her grandmother's Christmas tree farm, Christmas Land tells the story of Jules, a woman with a successful marketing job in New York City who returns to her hometown upon learning she's inherited her late grandmother's struggling Christmas-themed village and tree farm. It also sounds an awful lot like the plot of Moonlight and Mistletoe, in which Holly leaves her big city job for her Vermont hometown where she helps save her dad's Christmas-themed amusement park. Which way to the year-round Christmas-themed park that pays a livable wage? Hallmark's Christmas movie roster is full of titles guaranteed to make you laugh, cry, and go to bed with a warm, fuzzy feeling in your chest. But it won't take you long to pick up on a recurring theme throughout Hallmark's Christmas originals: the homewrecker. Okay, homewrecker may be a harsh term, but Hallmark movies do have a tendency to show a protagonist accidentally falling for a person who is very much not their significant other. In A Christmas Detour, a snowstorm prevents Paige from traveling to meet her fiancé and future in-laws, and instead sends her straight into the arms of another man. Travel issues are also the force at the center of a very merry mix-up, in which missing baggage sends Alice on a journey that results in her breaking off her engagement for a man she met at the airport. While everyone loves a good love story, Hallmark Christmas movies may leave you worrying that your significant other is going to have their own Hallmark-worthy meet-cute the next time they're at baggage claim.
It's either me or Christmas, Lydia.
He works too much, so it's okay if I cheat on him.
A number of Hallmark Christmas movies center around a protagonist who reluctantly returns to his or her hometown for Christmas, only to realize that that's where they should have been all along. In A Joyous Christmas, best-selling author and motivational speaker Rachel returns home for the holiday season, and it doesn't take long for her to fall in love with a charming local, as well as reconnect with her old community. Another Hallmark Christmas movie, Rocky Mountain Christmas, follows Sarah, a New York City gal who returns to her hometown after a breakup to help tend to her widowed uncle's struggling ranch. Of course, a handsome Hollywood star just so happens to be in town at the same time, and in a surprise to absolutely no one, he and Sarah fall head over heels in holiday love. The moral of the story? If you're looking for the true meaning of Christmas, otherwise known as a love connection, Just pack your bags and head to your hometown. Let's be honest, Hallmark Christmas movies are far from a reflection of reality. Sure, everyone loves the holidays, but the most wonderful time of the year can often double as the most stressful. Of course, this is why so many people enjoy escaping into the Hallmark Christmas movie universe. Because as unrealistic as the movies might be, they certainly provide a whimsical escape from holiday season stress. Perhaps the most unrealistic aspects of Hallmark Christmas movies are the job titles held by the protagonists. For example, in Merry and Bright, Full House's Jodie Sweetin plays Kate, the CEO of the Merry and Bright Candy Cane Company.
She has come home to run her family's candy cane business.
But Merry and Bright has nothing on Hats Off to Christmas, which features Haley Duff as Mia, the manager of her town's Christmas hat shop. Is the Christmas hat industry really so booming? Talk about a niche business. A number of Hallmark Christmas movies tell tales of finding true love and joy amid the chaos of Christmas, while also weaving magical elements throughout the stories in a way that will make you wonder why you ever stopped believing in Santa Claus. After all, in many of their films, Santa's a living, breathing man. For example, in A Boyfriend for Christmas, a 30-something single woman is surprised to learn that a wish she'd made to Santa as a young teen has finally been granted. By Santa, of course. The big man in the red suit makes another appearance in Help for the Holidays, in which one of Santa's elves ventures into the real world to help someone discover, wait for it, the true meaning of Christmas. These movies may technically be for adults, but that clearly isn't going to stop Hallmark from appealing to the childlike wonder inside all of us. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite holiday movies are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.